Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Maybe Ukraine belongs to the European Union, after all, and to the United States of America. It seems like culturally it belongs in that kind of group. And maybe they don't belong into the, Russian civilization. They belong to the new values of Brussels and Washington, D.C. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about this little article coming from Russia Today. And this is from March 7th, 2023. Ukraine considers LGBTQ breakthrough. Legalizing same-sex unions for soldiers would also please Kiev's, and I'm quoting, Western allies. Well, maybe they belong there. They have the same values. And values are important. After all, it's like in a marriage. In a marriage, you think that you have a connection. You both think that you have a connection. It can be only going one way. And the connection is based on, common hobbies, ideologies, preferences, political inclinations. That's a big factor, actually, from the studies I read, that actually the same political ideologies would help a lot. So I guess Ukraine would not be compatible with Russia under these freedoms and liberties that is ready to uphold. And they will be more like Western civilization. I don't want to say Western civilization because I think what's going on in Europe, you figure that out in the United States of America. I don't think that's Western civilization anymore. I think it's something else. It is, I think, like the Western Roman Empire at about 5th century, 4th and 5th century. That's where I think the Western civilization is right now. I'm talking about Western Europe, which tries to give its values to the rest of Europe. And the rest of Europe, some of them are trying to, still be backwards, like, Poland or Hungary. They don't really want to be civilized. Therefore, I don't think they will belong to the Western civilization, as I said, like it was the Roman Empire in about 5th century, 4th century CE. I didn't mention that the first time. It's a big mistake. So yes, CE, Common Era, not before Common Era. So let's see what else these guys are willing to do. What kind of tradition they will start over there, Ukrainian tradition and culture. All right, Ukraine's former deputy culture minister has proposed legalizing same-sex civil partnership, arguing it would both reward the service of LGBTQ soldiers and please Kiev's foreign backers. Inna Sovsun of the Golos party announced on Tuesday that she has submitted the bill to the Rada for consideration. And I'm quoting, legalization of single-sex relationship is very important to me now because if I come home dead, my partner can't even bury me. Was one, they can bury you without, being dead too. Was one of the arguments from the Ukrainian LGBT soldiers and allies Facebook community that Sovsun quoted in announcing her bill. The bill is a product of 9 months of work involving 2 NGOs. I would like to know how much finance they have from outside. Oh, I will be just like the Americans. They have that little law in 1938, the foreign agent law. Now they call it Russia law or Putin law. That the one that supposedly are fighting in Georgia. The Americans are way ahead of everybody else. They started something like this in 1938. So, but you hear about Russia's law of the NGOs and Soros. Anyway, It would establish legal grounds for people in same-sex relationship to regulate property ownership, inheritance, pensions, and death benefits, Sofsun argue. And then you can also, if you want to adopt children, that's the next thing, and so on. That's fine. You will definitely integrate into the European Union as a condom fits a cock. Anyway, so let's move on. I'm quoting, I could say that this is what our Western allies are demanding of us. Oh, okay, why? I thought they like diversity. So if we're gonna all be the same, or the same culture and same values, where's the diversity? Anyway, and it is true, they are, end quote. But 56% of Ukrainians agree that LGBTQ people should be entitled to civil partnership, she wrote. And I quote, I'm quoting, as a society, we have matured beyond the Russian swamp and Soviet worldview. What did I tell you? Because Ukraine values, and I'm quoting, human dignity and freedom, end quote. Ukrainians are, and I'm quoting, simply a different biological species than Russians, she concluded. Yeah, it's good. And that when she said different, I'm assuming she said superior and better, correct? Because you see, these guys, she said that the Russian swamp. So Russians, swamp is not a good thing. So if Russians are swamp and Ukrainians are a different biological species, they can't be a, I don't know, a marsh. No, they have to be, like, as I say, a pristine 100-meter Olympic clear swimming pool. Anyway, while Sofsun, I would like to know her biography, and I'm going to look for it. It sounds very Ukrainian. Did not provide a source for her figures. It's okay. The percentages correlates to a 2017 online survey commissioned by the International Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Trans and Intersex Association, ILGA. Ukraine decriminalized homosexuality in 1991, but its constitution defines marriage as a voluntary union between a man and a woman. Hey, you gotta change that too. As late as 2018, the Justice Ministry in Kiev argued there were no legal grounds for same-sex civil partnerships. Hey, what about the swamp here, the Russian swamp? Be careful, Justice Ministry in Kiev. Sofsun represents Golos, a self-described, and I'm calling liberal, which is everything goes but everything I like, and pro-European. Yes, you belong there, go there. Please, you identify with them. Party that supports President Zelensky's ruling majority. They won 20 seats out of 450. That's a great majority. In the 2019 election, though, 11 MPs have since broken away to set up their own party. Unity, I love unity. But since they're liberals, they are liberal, they're free to do whatever. Sofsun herself was Deputy Minister of Science and Education between 2014 and 2016. Sofsun. She was, that's why I think she knows what she's talking about when she talks about different biological species. Because she was the Deputy Minister of Science and Education, so she educated people about that and about other things between 2014 and 2016, following the US-backed coup in Kiev, when the government's move to restrict the use of Russian language helped touch off the unrest in Donbass. Well, Somsun, let's see, who are you, Somsun? Well, this is what I found, my friends, no surprise here. So here is Miss Inna Sofsun, and I would just look. She's very educated, as any liberal might be, and I found this early life and education. I found right here. This is what I need. From 2018 to 2019, she studied educational policy at UC Berkeley as a Fulbright scholar. So she's educated in the United States of America, right here in California, right? Right, and Berkeley is a great, great place to start your, or not start because she's not starting. So anyway, there she is. Remember when I told you many times already that a lot of people educated in the West, they study in the West, and then they return in their countries of origin, and then they all of a sudden become very, very, certain kind of doors are open and you don't hear from them, and then all of a sudden they become presidents of Georgia, for instance, like Saakashvili. I come from Romania, and I have a few examples of this kind of people who, during the communist time, they were educated in France and the United States of America. When they came back, they were a little bit, you know what I mean? So I kind of know what I'm talking about, and those are the easiest way for the people to be, hey, don't you want to help your country? That's how you start. Hey, how's your country? Do you want to help your country? You're a patriot, yes. Well, I can help you, but you gotta help me. How about this? How about we meet? How about we meet there? How about I introduce you to some people? How about this? How about that? When you go back to Romania, well, we can keep in touch. But by then, the whole thing is right there. So anyway, that's a way to do it with these people who, some of them get educated in foreign countries, and then they return home with how do you call this, ranks. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.